So I'm not sure how many of you kept up with last night's Virginia gubernatorial race, but the Gravel Institute here just reported on a little unknown fact that might have led to Glenn Youngkin's win. The Republican who just won in Virginia was an executive at the Carlyle Group, a private equity firm that has laid off thousands of unionized workers at the firms it acquires. But the Democrats couldn't attack him on it because Democratic nominee was a Carlyle investor. So this gets us to the point. No wonder, ultimately, Terry Mcauliffe fell into that fucking rabbit hole of a culture war being critical race theory, which, by the way, is only taught in graduate programs, like in universities. My uncle believes that this is going to be a part of the Southern strategy where they just bitch about critical race theory. Oh, they want you to think that white people are bad, even though, ultimately, even the Spaniards, whenever we colonized this fucking nation, whenever we colonized the Americas, we did a lot of fucked up shit. And I think that we can acknowledge that without feeling down on ourselves. But, so this also gets me to another point. Why do you think so many Democrats run shitty fucking campaigns and lose to Republicans who have nothing but falsehoods to fucking run on? Because these guys were two of the fucking same. Neither of them could run on economic policies. I wonder why. Maybe because Mcauliffe is ultimately representing his donors, and Youngkin, is one of his own donors, it seems. So these guys, like many of us have said in the past, punish corruption like it's fucking murder. Because whenever your name is Kirsten Sinema and you run a populist campaign, but then you get to Congress and you turn around and kill lower drug prices because you were given donations by Big Pharma, you are, in fact, directly responsible for lives lost. Now, what is the answer to combating some of this, or all of this fucking corruption that we see going on in Washington, D.C. between both parties? The answer is dilute both sides of the duopoly. Ultimately, polls show that half of the provisions in this gutted half of the gutted positions in the reconciliation bill were wildly popular among fucking all demographics. So, what can we do? We can run economically populist people in both parties that don't take political action committee funding from big corporations. It's as simple as that. So, if a lot of this shit concerns you and you're from a rural district, you could definitely give it a shot running as a populist Democrat that doesn't talk about fucking guns and abortion. But you could also do the same thing as a fucking Republican, and you might be better off. Just get ready, because if and when you get to Congress, you're going to face an even bigger, more monumental challenge than the Justice Democrats have. If you're a populist Republican, the whole ship is against you. You're going to be a miserable fucking person if you're looking to make the slightest bit of friendship in Washington. And the only friends you're going to be able to make are going to be the ones that are fighting alongside you. Ultimately, you're going to vote pretty conservatively on cultural shit. But whenever it comes to economic policies that would benefit working people, American people, the top 85% or the bottom 85% of us, you're going to receive a lot of fucking flack from your Republican counterparts. But ultimately, If you want to be a hero, if you want to be a true fucking maverick and not a fake maverick, get the fuck out there and give it your best shot. Man, us Southerners, we like to pride ourselves on our fucking grit. So show it. Begin the dilution of the GOP. And on the left, continue to dilute the fucking DNC. Continue to call out the bullshit that you see. Continue to call out the facts. And guess what? If you can't call out the facts, maybe you shouldn't be running there in the first place. Because odds are you're just like Terry Mcauliffe.